Hey everybody, welcome back to a precision farming video. I discovered something, a glitch in the game, but it's a minor glitch, and I had to record it. I had to record it because it's important, because I'm finding things out about precision farming with seasons, and I'm recording them as they happen. The first time it ever happens, I need to document it. That's the purpose of this entire series that I've been doing for the last month. Almost a month now. I believe I started doing this December 9th, a day after the DLC came out. So what I've discovered is I'm going to continue hiring the worker that I've been doing. Now this is an interesting discovery I didn't plan on seeing happen. So we've got loam at 200. Nitrogen is preferred for oats, and for some reason it's subtracting, and I'll prove it. Watch. We're still on the sandy loam. Look at the nitrogen. It's 200 now, where nothing has been seeded yet. How is it subtracting nitrogen? This field that is mostly the field type of sandy loam. I planted oats on the other field that is mostly loam, to the right of the road. And I noticed the same thing happened on that field, because the crop rotation is pretty much the same. I'm going from canola to oats on both fields. Here to here. Okay, so do you see the nitrogen value is 180 now here on the sandy loam soil, as you can see on the field info? And as I walk over to where it is still sandy loam, watch it go from 180 to 140. It's saying the preferred amount of nitrogen is 200 for oats. When it says bad, let me get to where it said bad. See where it says bad? 200 is what it wants, but it only has 140. Now follow me here. This is a very interesting rabbit hole, okay? Previous fruit type was canola. The nitrogen value is consistently at 180 in the sandy loam, and where it is loam, it is at 200. Back up, I saw that. There was a spot where there was loam right here. 200 after the harvest. So that tells me that canola doesn't need nitrogen. It doesn't take any nitrogen out of the soil to grow. That's cool. That's realism. But I'm going to teleport to the tractor now. How is watch the fertilizer level is not going to move at all. We've already found out that fertilizers in this game that are seeders that have fertilizer that also do it at the same time will add just the right amount of nitrogen to the soil when needed. Now I need to turn the help menu on to show what's going on. Okay, watch the nitrogen mineral fertilizer application screen. Now it says increasing nitrogen level to optimal value for oats on loam. Now it's going to say the same thing for sandy loam. Increasing nitrogen level to optimum value for oats, but it's not doing that. It's subtracting it. You see? Now it's subtracted here where it says very bad. Somehow it's telling us on the soil type of sandy loam that it subtracted 80 nitrogen somehow with fertilizer still in there, even though the fertilizer is not being actually applied, because the fertilizer, the seeder fertilizer automatically puts the right amount in, or does not put any amount in where needed, but somehow it's subtracting it. That's see here, nitrogen at 180. So I've proved my point up to here, right? So now, next, what I'm going to do after it makes this pass, I'm going to take the fertilizer out, and I want you to see what happens, because I did the same thing over on this field just a few minutes ago. Same crop type beforehand was canola. Now I'm planting oats. See where this says nitrogen bad, where I did not add any fertilizer. I took the fertilizer out of the seeder planter to test it. Now watch what happens. I believe first I have to turn it off. Okay, it is turned off. Then I'm going to unload there. Now this time I'm only going to put the seeds in. But that's also doesn't matter. But it does matter because see where it says nitrogen here is at 200 on the loam? It's going to actually take some away. But then I thought to myself, well, that kind of makes sense. Maybe the tractor wheels are turning up the nitrogen in the soil and throwing it around. Thus, that would be plausible. But then when I put the fertilizer back in, it still continues to make it better. Now here's the thing, this is the rabbit hole. Logic tells us to take the fertilizer out of the seeder because it's telling us that it's somehow glitched out and actually subtracting it in areas where sometimes it's random. Here it took out 40 for some reason. That doesn't make no sense. And over here, as we proved, it took out 80. If I could find it again, right here. So that's illogical and is part of the World of Farming Simulator that is not part of ours. So there are differences of physics and things that happen from different universes. That is a minor glitch. It's not game breaking, but it is kind of just something I just discovered now. Now watch what happens. I'm going to hire the worker again. Now this time no fertilizer. I'm going to let it make. Okay, this is what it says. It says helper D has stopped working unexpectedly because the tank is empty. It did that on the other field over there, across the road. But if I click it again, it overrides it and does it anyway. Now the worker told me first, like, hey, whoops, hold on, you need to put fertilizer in the tank. But I just proved that we don't. And you see where it's making the path, and the path is a little bit lighter brown? That's because there's no fertilizer. But as we saw, the fertilizer wasn't putting any fertilizer in the soil anyways because it didn't need it, as we discussed. But it was actually sometimes subtracting. It's going to do the same thing here, but it's going to be a lot worse. But the way the game operates, it's telling us as a human being that this is what we need to do to make sense out of it. But it actually turns out that this is actually not the thing to do. So that would mean any seeder or planter in the game that does not have fertilizer now, with precision farming and seasons, now is actually stupid to use. I'm gonna prove it after it makes this second pass. I'm gonna jump out of it. Take a look at the nitrogen value after the harvest of the canola. And I believe canola, that's just how canola is in real life. It doesn't take any nitrogen out of the soil to grow. Same with soybeans. Now check this out. It's subtracted 80. Which is worse than if we had just left the fertilizer in the seeder, even though it's not putting it in the ground anyways. right? So I'm proving it as I go here. Now I'm going to put the fertilizer back in. Now watch as the fertilizer is not even used, but it makes it at least workable. But at the same time, because of this, because of what's happening right now, seeders and planters in this game that don't have fertilizer now are becoming useless and pointless to use now, because it's, why would you want to mess your field up and actually subtract? See this here, this strip here? It's subtracting 80 from what it was. That doesn't make any sense at all. Because as we proved, after the harvest it was 180. That doesn't make any sense, and I had to make sure I recorded it. It happened on both of these fields, planting oats after a canola harvest. So both fields test out. Both fields are similar in soil types. And another thing I want to show you that I needed to point out, and you probably have already realized it, and I just haven't pointed out yet, and I'm glad I'm still recording and I'm still talking. The nitrogen value is not changing. Which is to be expected. Because the canola did not take any nitrogen out of the soil after the harvest. That's what canola does in real life, I believe. And same with soybeans. But if we go to this map, some parts where it's being subtracted should be, wrong screen, should be a bright orange, which it is. But there should be more bright orange to the left, but there's not. Well, it's because it blends it all in. It kind of overrides it. It kind of bleeds into one another. That's explainable. Nitrogen perfect. Nitrogen bad. How do you go from 180 to 140? How does it subtract? Same with over here. And this is the part where the fertilizer was actually in the seeder. How does it go from 180 to 140? It's telling you that 200 is what it needs, what oats need. So that's what's being confirmed as well. Oats would rather have loam. Loam is the best for oats, guaranteed. Hands down, that's a fact. Now it says nitrogen bad. How did it go from 180 to 100 with fertilizer in the... So there's a glitch, a serious glitch with precision farming. That's not good. That's not good at all. It's very strange. Very strange that it's subtracting. You would think it wouldn't subtract. Anyways, I think I've covered it. I think I've covered everything. I wanted to just point this out. I'm kind of repeating myself over and over, I know. But I'm just kind of flabbergasted. Because like I said, I record these as they happen, so that you're getting a genuine reaction out of me from a person who knows that enjoys realism and immersion. This game is kind of getting kind of strange. The more I play this new DLC. I started playing this new DLC the day that it came out, December the 8th. I started making videos about it on December 9th. So I've pretty much know what I'm talking about. If you have any different experiences about the new DLC Precision Farming along with Seasons, let me know in the comments, okay? That would be nice. Everybody, have a great day.